Hi, it's your girl Lola Lovely, and welcome to The Love Frequency. This episode is entitled It's Time to Shine, or It's Safe to Shine. This episode is about breaking the habit of dimming your light to make other people feel comfortable, and it's an invitation to step into your brilliance, your versatility, and the divine radiance that is completely and 100% authentically you, without apology. This is a love note to that part of yourself that is ready to bust out and be seen, to be heard, to be championed, and to be honored. This is the time. It's time to shine. So we all have felt victim or fell victim to the dimming pattern, the pattern where we basically shut ourselves down so that we make other people feel comfortable, where we dim our light, we make sure that we are not too bright, that we're not pushing anybody away by being too much, and we hide how brilliant and wonderful we are. You have learned how to shrink yourself in school, at work, in relationships, in almost every area and aspect of your life. And only because, and I have to say that's only because that area wasn't ready for your magic. That area wasn't ready for your magic. That area wasn't ready for the light that you were shining or your brilliance. And there's this unspoken message that says, don't be too much, stay humble, don't outshine that person, don't shine too much, don't outshine your boss, don't outshine your mate, don't outshine your best friend, don't outshine, okay? And there's this intentionalizing shame and comparison, or a guilt of feeling like you have to compare yourself to someone else in order for you to be seen as something as wonderful. And there shouldn't be any guilt for you simply existing in your natural brilliant state. But we've been taught that we shouldn't do those things, that we should not shine. And it's time for us to stop doing that. I think that the biggest thing for me, why I dimmed my light, is that I was protecting myself. In some aspects, it's safer to go unseen and to not be criticized, or to be misunderstood, or to be envied even. So in some ways, we protect ourselves so that we can, and we dim our light so that we're protected, so that these things don't happen to us. I mean, for women, we tend to dim our light often because we can be physically hurt badly. So we dim our light to make sure that we're not hurt physically. I think there was a study that was done where men were asked what's the biggest fear they have, and their biggest fear is to be rejected by a woman, and women's biggest fear is to be killed by a man. So we dim our light a lot, even especially like in an elevator, in some place where we're in a space where we cannot get away from bodily harm. We dim our light. And so protection is the number one. Number two reason why we hide or dim our light is it's a trauma response. We play small as a survival mechanism, and that is something that I definitely had learned to do in my last relationship. As I played small because I didn't want to fight with my husband, so I would dim and I would small myself, and I would call it smalling myself. And I would just allow him to do what he was doing, and then I would let it be without aggressively going against it or any of that, and I just would allow it to be so that I didn't have to deal with any trauma that could come from that, fighting that could come from it. So I completely understand how, why we hide and how we hide, because I have hidden in these reasons, protection and trauma response. I hide my light a lot for those things. And I find that I'm in a space now where I'm not doing that any fucking more. It's like time for me to stand up and be okay with the fuck I gotta say, and everybody else needs to be, I don't care whether you like it or not. You don't have to like it. I'm gonna say it anyway. Click on by, move on through, fast forward, X out, comment 1,000 things about how horrible I am, that I'm telling you I'm gonna not dim my light any longer. I'm going to stand in my power. I'm going to be present in my power. And I'm going to be present in the divine, the beautiful, divine, feminine strength that I am. Just to go into another reason why we actually hide who we are and what we're all about is that there's generational and cultural wounds that discourage us from standing in our full power, standing in our grace, standing in our beauty, standing in our voice, and giving power to that side of us that has been marginalized and traumatized. So there is a cost for playing small. There is a cost for you not being your full self. Your creativity gets suffocated. It is holding back the things that are vibrationally 100% you. You are holding back your ideas, your art, your love, your truth. And by playing small, you are saying that you agree with that person's idea, with the cultural idea of you not showing up and showing out. You can get emotional exhaustion, which I 100% feel that in the 10 years that I was with my husband, emotional exhaustion was a big thing. It came out in a physical way. I've had in the past, my body's perfectly fine. We'll just say that. But emotional exhaustion, and that comes from constant self-editing. You are constantly trying to edit what it is that you're saying so that it doesn't appear or come off as abrasive. It doesn't come off as aggressive. So there's a constant edit, and that is emotionally exhausting. So the cost of saying small also is like feeling disconnected with your purpose and your joy. And this is because you're denying your personal essence. You're denying your personal power. So you feel so disconnected from joy, and you feel disconnected from who you really are, that you completely blank out and you get emotionally exhausted. So this is the cost of staying small. There's a cost to playing this game of playing small, and it's important that we are not choosing to play small anymore, that we are actually showing up and showing out, and we are glowing at our full capacity, and it's time for us to really step into that power. Now, the sacred permission to shine, like giving yourself the sacred permission to shine, is about reframing your vulnerability as sacred, reframing the softness as sacred, and reframing the ability to be seen as in service to others, because you are now glorifying yourself. You are now standing in your power, your energy, and you are amplifying this energy of like, come to me, come hither energy that is saying, I want to be seen in this beautiful space as a person who creates, who stands in my power, who has the ability to shine, and I'm not being negated by other people's ideas of me. And I have to tell you, you don't have to earn your right to shine. You were born to shine. You were born this way. Okay? You don't have to earn your right to shine. You don't have to. Your shine doesn't have to be dimmed by anyone else's. You don't have to actually compare yours to anyone else's. And it gives you the permission to rise up and be the perfect self that you are, to be the perfect person that you are. Now, let's talk about how to step into your radiance and your glow gently. Well, or kick the doors in, because I would say kick the doors in, but let's talk about how we can actually step into this radiance. We can step into this glow. You can practice vulnerability daily. You can practice daily affirmations. That's a way. You can do mirror work and voice activations. I do love a good voice activation. I do love utilizing my space and utilizing the sounds of the chakras and toning the sounds, the AEIOUs, doing that to activate the integration of self and remove the blocks to love that cause me to stand back and dim my light. Okay? You can release the shame that makes you feel like I'm too much. And they won't like me if I don't do this thing, or I don't behave this way, or I don't show up in this way. We got to release all that. Release the shame. Let go of that voice that tells you that you're no good. If you don't be quiet or you don't do the thing that you're supposed to, let go of that. That's done. That's over. That's done. And then also a good way to step into your radiance gently is to take these small moments of showing up fully for yourself. And also in that way, for me, I've done my color analysis. I'm working slowly towards my color analysis to find colors that really look good on me so that I can show up in a color that radiates joy. So, and I find that I've been in this sense of creams. I'm the queen of cream, as my goddaughters have said to me. You're the queen of cream. I will wear cream all day, every day, all head to toe cream. And I've done that because I took up black because I was no longer in mourning from my separation. And then I moved into a space of cleansing, of clearing, of lighting up myself in a way that I could show up. So the small moments of showing up for myself showed up in me dressing a certain way and also giving myself the creative license to move into a space where color can now be reintroduced into my wardrobe, and it's not all cream or all white or all tan or all because I love the color nudes, the light pinks, the baby pinks. They look so good on me. They do. I feel good in them. I feel sexy. I feel alive. I feel vibrant. So I like those colors. But small moments of showing up for yourself fully is how you can gently step into this radiance. But you have to show up in how you dress, how you speak, how you love yourself, and how you create. Are you creating and letting these things, are you creating them, putting them out? Or are you creating and then hyper focusing that it's not done right or it's not, then you're still dimming your light. I'm going to just tell you, lovies, that you should create something and let it go because you can always recreate that thing. This is most writers, they have 5, 6, 7, 8 drafts of something that you've read, and they still weren't happy with the last draft. They just put it out so that they could do a rewrite, because you're allowed to rewrite your life. You're allowed to rewrite every day, all day. You're allowed to renew, reinvent, and rewrite. So it's safe now for you to actually utilize these healing tools to help you move into a space where you can shine your bright. You can shine bright. You can shine bright like a diamond. And you can surround yourself with people who want to see you win. Okay? The ones who don't want to see you win are not your assignment. They're not. The ones who poo-poo what you do and then don't support really what you're all about, they are not your assignment at all. That time is over. Done. And just to remind yourself, the takeaway is to remind yourself that your light is divinely protected by everyone. So shine anyway, because that's what spirit wants. That's what the universe wants. That's what this energy that is behind the heart wants, behind the breath. It wants you to shine bright anyway. So as a closing note, this episode is a love note to the part of you that is finally ready to be seen. You don't have to wait for permission to stand in your power. You don't have to tone it down. You're safe and you're radiant and you're perfect and you're whole and you're complete and you're a radiant point of light. And guess what, baby? My little lovelies, you are so ready to stand and shine. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me for this episode. I mean, I changed the name of the episode 32 times, it feels like. So let me go back in my notes so I say it right. It's time to shine. So thank you so much for joining me. And remember to always stay in the love zone. Oops. And remember to always stay in the love frequency. Yeah, I caught it this time.